guys, how you doing? Minasan konnichiwa, my name is Cheese and welcome to my channel. Today I'll react to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Stardust Crusaders Part 2. Yeah, this is called the Egypt arc. I'm super excited. We're actually just halfway through this part, so the journey is by far not over. I'm excited to see what we're getting in this part. I think maybe we'll get more involvement from Dio himself. So far we've only been fighting his minions, so yeah, let's just see how it's gonna go. We even had Abdul who returned as well. So the group is complete once again. And yeah, I'm just curious to see how it's gonna go. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. So let's go. Alright, I'm ready. So I'm gonna start first episode in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, okay. Oh, that was a smooth transition from CG to non-CG. But it's time. Oh, right, a new OP! Ooh, it sounds so ominous. Oh, and then it's speeding up. Nice. Have I ever heard this song before? I don't know. It doesn't sound familiar. Yeah, I've never heard this song before. It sounds so dramatic and I love it. Oh my god, I even include the ora 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 in the opening. I don't know what to feel about this opening. I think I still prefer the previous one. But with the previous one, I also had to kind of get into it, you know? I didn't like it at first, but when I got to hear it more and more, I started to like it more as well. So maybe with this opening as well. Alright, they're being picked up by a helicopter. Yeah. Right, okay. And of course, if they get in a helicopter, it's gonna crash anyways. Because that's what happens. Taking him a new ally. Interesting. Is it someone who we already know, or is it like a new character? The Fool. Alright. Okay, then it's definitely a new character. I don't know any character with the stand card, the Fool. Ooh. They're really hyping him up. Alright, let's just see. Their new ally. So mysterious. Ooh. I don't think it's either of them. Why are they looking like that? So sus. Uh-huh. That's what I thought. There's no one. Yeah. It is the dog! I kind of had a feeling that it was the dog from the opening. I was like, where did this dog come from? Iggy? Okay, and that dog, Iggy, is gonna be the new ally. He's kind of dirty. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Jean-Pierre is down. Ooh. And that's his stand. The Fool. Or like, what's the name? Oh, it is called The Fool. Right, yeah. We've already seen animals use stands before. A sand stand. Yeah, that's strong. Yeah, you cannot cut sand, of course. Especially in Egypt, where there's a lot of sand. It's definitely gonna be useful. Hair is important. Coffee flavored gum? That's so random. It sounds good though. Oh, it grabbed the whole box, of course. It's a smart doggy. I wish he looked cuter though. He's totally not cute. And a new camera. Nice. A group picture? As a memento? Nice. Oh my gosh. Alright, let's just see how it's gonna go. I don't know. No, they got a dog ally. Yeah, they gotta be honest. 2 weeks. Yeah. The new enemies. We already saw one in action in a previous episode. Hmm. Hmm. Alright. Okay, that's interesting. Of course you would eventually run out of cards. So yeah, it's good. So yeah, this is gonna be interesting. What does he smell? An enemy? Oh, okay. Duel. Is that already like one of the 9? And he's blind. Hmm. Uh, okay. Well, that he got that one. Interesting. Yeah. He's taking the whole bench. While the 3 others are sitting in the back. I've never had coffee flavored gum. It sounds good though. I love coffee, but maybe if I had like coffee flavored gum, I would drink less coffee. Maybe. Oh, that's the helicopter from earlier. Are the guys okay? Oh. Oh, the guys are dead. Yeah, that's looks weird. Yeah, that looks weird. Water. Oh. Huh? Did he drown? Midair? Uh-huh. It must definitely be the work of a stand. Oh, that's the other guy. But he looks dried up. Oh! Ah! Oh my god, that guy just got his head ripped off. That's crazy. Exactly. Oh, I feel bad for them. Ah. Yeah, already? It's not even close. Whew. That's crazy. Is it the guy we saw earlier? I think so. Ugh. It's still gushing out. Guys, focus. Focus. Ah! Oh my god, just for his eyes. Oh, that's crazy. And yeah, of course, like, blood is, like, mostly water, you know? So if it's like a water stand, it can mix together with the blood as well. Whew. The watch. Because it was making sound. Yeah, it must be the blind guy. He's doing this with the sound. Good. So basically, you mustn't make any sound, but that's nearly impossible. Oh! Through vibrations, yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. Ah. he's just listening to every vibration. Yeah, he can probably just cut up the car as well. No? Oh. And the dog is just sleeping. Is he gonna take action? Nani! Do not underestimate the doggy. Does he really know? I mean, the dog is just chilling. Well, they cannot use that car anymore. To be continued. Oh, so we're getting a part 2. Yeah. And it's a new ending. Aw, I'm gonna miss Walk Like an Egyptian. Is this an instrumental ending? I think so. There's no one singing. But yeah. Okay, so we're continuing with part 2 in the next episode. I already had a feeling that they were not gonna resolve this case in one episode. Last train home. Alright. Interesting. We don't get often like instrumental endings. Just barely. There are only a few that I know of. Few endings that are like completely instrumental. Anyway, so that was episode 1 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders part 2. And yeah, we're already starting with a new clash right away. We even got introduced to a new character, Iggy. It's a dog who can use a stand as well. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about it. I'm not a big fan so far. I mean, the idea is interesting that they have now a dog companion who can use a stand. But the dog cannot even talk, you know? Unless he's hiding the fact that it can talk. No, I don't think it can talk, because in the end it's still a dog. But, you know, it just limits their interactions, I would say. It will create like a lot more unique interactions, of course, because it's a dog, so it will be different than a human to human interaction. Like we saw already, like its interactions with Jean-Pierre are already like totally different than how Jean-Pierre interacts with others, you know? So it is interesting, but just the dog is not cute, so I'm just not a big fan so far. We've only seen him use the stand just once. It will probably do a lot more in the next episode. So I kind of have to wait and see how I feel about Iggy later on. You know, it's hard to tell after just one episode. But yeah, we already slightly got introduced to the new enemies. There are 9 more stand users apparently coming after them. But as they pointed out, it's just a bit strange because there shouldn't be a lot more tarot cards left, you know. I don't have a lot of knowledge on tarot cards, but we already defeated so many of them. There should be only a couple of them left. Whole Horse, of course, is one, and then we also have the Emperor, which should be Dio, but we're not completely sure about that. But then I started thinking, like, are these tarot cards actually necessary? I like that they connect people's stands to tarot cards, but it isn't like a requirement, right? Like, in the end, when you think about it, like, stands are just a manifestation of your own life energy, right? So it shouldn't have anything to do with tarot cards in the first place. It's kind of like just an extension of yourself, your own life energy. I mean, that's what I learned from the show, right? That's what I explained in the beginning of part 3, I think. And then later on, they started connecting it to tarot cards, especially from the stand users that were coming after them. But it isn't a requirement, right? Like, you can also just have a stand without being connected to a tarot card, I think. So we'll still have to figure out how all of that works. But we already got introduced to one of them. Ndul is his name, right? He's blind. He controls the stand with the use of sound. So that's already like super interesting. He already seems a lot more dangerous than the stand users that were coming after them previously. So we'll see how they're gonna deal with him. I think Iggy is gonna take care of everything. Otherwise, he wouldn't be introduced right now, right? So let's just see how everything is gonna go in the next episodes. Without further ado, let's just hop right into it. So let's go. Alright, I'm ready. So I'm gonna start the episode in 3, 2, 1, go. Shimata! Yeah, now they're back on the sand. And Iggy's still sleeping. And there's water. Yeah, they gotta stay still. Yeah, he already memorized their locations. Oh, smart. Because those aren't steps. That's why I like Abdul. You know, he always comes up with these smart plans. He comes up with these smart strategies. So his return wasn't for nothing, you know? That's what I liked about it. I already talked about this in the previous case. But yeah, Abdul, he has the brains, so he definitely adds something to the team. And I'm just, like I just said, I wonder how Iggy, the dog, is gonna add to the team, you know? And not that he's just got added because they wanted to keep it interesting by adding a new member, but just a human would be boring, so they just decided to add a dog. Ora, ora, ora. Yeah, I still like the previous opening better. The previous one was just so much more hype, you know? I always want to punch at the same time. Alright. Let's go. Oh, he dodged. Did Aldo got hit? Ah! Oh my gosh! It was close. Uh-huh. Ooh. He's smart, you know? He already has a strong stand. The fact that he can attack through sound, that already makes him like super strong, and then he's smart as well. Oh, he already knows his Jotaro. What's his plan? He must have a plan. What is he doing? Yeah, he picked up the dog. The dog. He already forgot about the dog. Oh, he knows. He knows the dog knows. Yeah. Don't mess with Jotaro. Oh, wow. Okay, but if it can fly, that's even better because the stand user cannot pick up their movements in the air, right? Mm-hmm. Ooh, they're in midair. Ooh, he's almost touching the ground. And he's farting. You know what he could have done? I don't know if Star Platinum is able to do it, but just like... Uh-huh. But I was like, he can like use Star Platinum's power to blow like super hard against the wings, so it could go up again. I don't know if that was gonna work, but are they close? Ooh, he found him. 400 meters. It's still far away. Uh-oh. It's breaking apart. Uh-huh. Wow, that guy is so good. Oh, dang! Yeah, and still water. Oh, they hit the ground again. He's just throwing the dog. It's the dog. Oh my god, I love this. Oh, he lost his staff. Oh, he lost Jotaro. Maybe he's already behind you. I knew it! He's just standing right behind you. And he has no idea. Oh. So now what? What's he gonna do with him? Oh! Oh, dang! Did Iggy help him? Like, did Iggy distract him? Yeah, he lost his head. Oh my god, he killed himself. Okay, so he was one of the 9. Hmm. Alright. Just because of his charisma. We see Enyaba in the background. Interesting. Undo. And then Gap. It's called Gap. Oh! Interesting. Oh my gosh. I like that. Like, actually, it's a pure coincidence, but like recently, I read a manga which also was about Egyptian gods. So this is gonna be so cool. I actually know about a couple of them. So we have Geb and many other Egyptian gods. Well, in fact, 8 others in this case. Oh man. Yeah, like a cult leader. Yeah, exactly. So we already have Geb, the god of the earth. Oh, that's Iggy. He doesn't even want the gum. Yeah, exactly. He's completely kalknight. Oh, he got the head. His precious head. Oh. Oh my gosh. And there are the others. Yare yare dazu. Is Kakyoin okay? Is he now blind? I don't hope so. Alright, interesting. Now we also kind of know what we can expect from this moment onwards. I love the concept of them using the Egyptian gods. I've always been very interested in Egyptian gods ever since I was like a little girl. It's just so fascinating, like Egyptian history. So yeah, we have Gap. I wonder how many of them I can remember on the top of my head. So you also have the god of the sky. I forgot the name already. You have also Anubis. Oh gosh, I cannot remember any of the names right now. I feel like I'm gonna mix them up with the Greek gods. Oh, the picture. I didn't even notice. Oh, there's more. It's so funny. I was just talking about a manga and that I read about these Egyptian gods in manga. Interesting art style. Oh my gosh! What a plot twist! Uh oh. Uh oh. I have a bad feeling about this. What if the story turns into reality? And that traveler turns out to be that guy who just gave him snacks and then he's gonna get impaled to the neck. and the bus crashed. I knew it! Oh my god, how did that even happen? And that's Oingo and Boingo. Oh my gosh. I'm already so excited about the next episode. The new stand users. I mean, it can only be the work of a stand, right? And this time we have two brothers, Oingo and Boingo. And I'm assuming that the younger one has the stand power. So I'm assuming just from this little part that we just saw that he can draw like comics, and whatever he writes in his comic becomes reality. So that's already like super intriguing. I'm excited to find out how that's gonna unfold in the next episode. But so far I'm really digging these new enemies that they're facing. They're really on the next level already. I mean, Ndul was already a very, very challenging opponent. The fact that he was blind and still could do so much damage against JoJo and the others, it was very impressive. And eventually we kind of saw like from his backstory like his loyalty towards Dio, and I'm assuming that not just him but the other 8 stand users have like an equal experience and relationship with Dio, you know, like why they're so loyal towards him. You can just see that Dio's like charisma and his power are making all these people follow him. People who are already dangerous from themselves, but because of that they have like no purpose in life, and then they encounter Dio, which gives them purpose in life. So that's very interesting to see. And yeah, I'm already looking forward to see the rest of the adventure. I'm also beginning to see how Iggy adds to the group. As I've said before, like I was just curious to see how the addition of Iggy within the group is gonna change the dynamics, how he's gonna add something new. But you can already see like he's just a shitty dog, you know, he's so totally not cute. But as like his selling point, you could say, it just, you can see this love-hate relationship already between him and Jotaro. Like Iggy just tries to save his own ass, but then Jotaro just noticed that and he just doesn't hesitate to throw Iggy into the deep as well. You know, it's like, yeah, you're not gonna be saving your own ass by yourself, you're gonna help us out, you know. But at the same time, Iggy also keeps like messing with the others to just save his own ass. So you can see this like interesting dynamic, and I'm curious to see more of it. So yeah, that was already like a very interesting beginning. And as I said, I'm just curious to see the continuation. I like that they already gave like a little preview of the new stand user that we're gonna be facing in the next episode. So I'm already looking forward to that. So yeah, that was my reaction to these 2 episodes. I hope you enjoyed it. So if you did, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you can see my other reaction videos, please check out my channel and subscribe. So in any case, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.